Hello, my name is Apollo and welcome to Pantheon Talks. Today we are actually doing a Webtoon Canvas review. It's for a super cool creator, her name is Summer, and her series is Grime Reaper in Training. Alright, let's dive in. Let me start this by saying this series has so much potential. I've always loved, and I mean loved, the idea of an individual being thrown into a new world. Think of series like Percy Jackson or Harry Potter. I think what makes that concept so fun is the world. The author is creating a story based on our reality. The concept that there could be like this super secret world all around us is just so fun to me. Obviously, I'm manifesting this for myself, but let's not devolve into that. In the case of Grime Reaper in Training, Shin and Mina are two main characters. Shin is the Grime Reaper, and Mina is maybe a priestess? To be honest, I'm not sure what to call her. She has a lot of, I don't know what to call it exactly, spiritual powers, superpowers, some sort of otherworldly power. And the two of them are becoming a team which will fight or help spirits and ghosts transition from this side to the other plane. So that's the basic premise of the story. I think it's definitely going to be one of those zero to heroes sort of routes, which I think means Mina is going to end up being an extremely powerful character. The creator, Summer, does an amazing job of setting up right from the start that Mina does not understand her powers and that she is entering into a world completely new, which from our perspective, we're learning things alongside Mina as she discovers them. So it doesn't feel like there's a lot of exposition, even though there is, but it makes sense because the world that our main character is used to is no longer her reality, so everything is kind of being explained to her. A fun thing about the series is the attention to detail that Summer, the creator, puts into the story. There's a lot of fun tropes and a lot of fun elements. For example, I really enjoyed the coin flip. In the scene, we get to see Shin, the Grime Reaper, release his signature weapon, which, side note, I'm not sure if calling it a signature weapon is 100% accurate. It's possible that these coins are passed down from other Grime Reapers, but that's another point. Anyway, my point in all of this is that it has a lot of elements of fun adventure story mixed in with a little bit of mystery. If I was to pitch this series to you all, I would think of it as a typical shonen story, but with the female being the main lead and actually being useful. Like, I seriously don't know why we cannot get a shonen female that's like rocking it throughout the whole series. Another I digress moment. And since this is a Canvas creator, I generally don't go into any sort of negatives, so if you're looking for something like that from these reviews, I won't be leaving any necessarily negative thoughts in these videos. Think of it as more of a promo for the creator and all of the hard work that they put forth for their series. So the one thing I will say is if you read the series, the story moves very, very fast. So it's kind of almost feels like if I were watching this as an anime, I feel like the entire first season probably would have been a singular episode, maybe? Like a 40-minute episode. Like, we hit the season finale fast, and it could be because I binge read the series, you know, all 30 episodes. I was just zooming through those, and it was so good. I read it all at work. The thing that I really enjoyed about the series was, although it had a lot to explain and tell us, there was a lot of heart put into the series, and one of the biggest things that I latch onto when I'm reading a story is the emotions. How do they make me feel? The theme of the story, how does it connect to me? Some of my favorite episodes was where the creator kind of answered people's questions and explained how and why she developed the story, or how she came up with the idea, and the fact that a lot of the story draws inspiration from Korean mythology. Elaborate on how she's processing dealing with death and how different cultures deal with death. It's fascinating to get a glimpse into different cultures, especially the way they look at characters like the Grime Reaper. I found all of that to be super interesting, so there's a lot of research and knowledge that went into the story, which made me feel like I needed to reread the story so that I could pick up on any of those little details that I missed. Because I've always viewed the Grime Reaper as a character that represented evil or represented a sad end, it's very cool to see that other mythologies do not view this character that way. Which, speaking of characters, is kind of funny because the thing that actually hooked me onto this series was the fact that the character designs are so fun, especially the kitsune revealed later in the series. technically, I think their first appearance is in chapter 21, part 1. Chef's kiss to that design. However, I'm pretty sure I saw that design on Instagram first, and I was like, ooh, immediately simps for character and proceeds to read series. When I got into the story, one of the first things I noticed was a lot of the designs are super unique, different, and fun. Each character has their own vibe and their own look, which as someone who loves character designs, I'm obsessed with it. I really appreciate a creator making a diverse cast as well as making different character elements interesting and unique to that specific character. That's a lot of work, especially when you think about the fact that the creator has to draw these different looks, these different outfits every week, yet Summer goes above and beyond to make sure that all the important characters have a really cool vibe. She even includes Patreon characters. Side note, I'm not 100% sure how it works. Support the creator on Patreon. So far, 2 of her patrons' characters have been involved in the story, and in my opinion, been given significant roles, so that's also super fun, which is a really cool reward. It's kind of like supporting her. You get to be a part of her community to an extent, which I love. Creators, please build communities for your followers. I also say when the first fight kind of happens where Shin uses his coin to summon his weapon and Mina is all like, "You're a magical girl." Yes, I was like, Madoka, Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, instant, I stand this series. I just love a magical girl trope. I really want more of that Moon Prism makeup sort of situation, like I stand that so hard. Mina better get a grand magical transformation. That's all I want in life right now. This series has a lot of super cool elements. As I've mentioned, the character designs are on point, strong female lead, cute moments, and fun tropes. However, before I elaborate on this isn't a criticism. I just want you all to understand, besties, that this story is still getting started. So we as readers will need to be patient as the creator isn't doing this as a full-time job. The only thing for me is we are out of episodes, which if your readers are clamoring for more episodes, that's definitely a good thing. I feel like we're just scratching the surface and we're going to have to wait a while to get into the nitty-gritty of the story and how it's going to grow and develop. I still feel like we barely even know like what's going on in the world, and then the season finale where we get the reveal of possibly a training arc going forward, and then the season 2 first few episodes where we get a conversation between the 2 deities. I'm just like, hold up. Okay, so now things are getting like serious. I also really think there's gonna be some heart-wrenching moments because you have to think about the fact that these characters are facing spirits or ghosts and the people that used to live on Earth, and now they're having to battle them because of this corruption by the main villain, which I haven't really even talked about. So there's a lot of mystery happening that needs explanations, and Summer creates a lot of intrigue, so there's so much set up, and I'm just like, please, I need the rest of the story. So personally, I think if you're going to read this right now, it's a really good time to get invested into the story as season 2 is just starting. Season 1 gives a good basis for everything that's going on. I do feel the story will get super heavy and we are in store for a deeper dive into Korean mythology. As a fellow creator, I think that we all can learn a lot from this series. The series does so many things right. Grime Reaper in Training was nominated and won in the Webtoon Canvas Awards in 2021 for Hidden Gems. This series from the very beginning had people interested and invested in it, and I think it speaks to people who want to pursue other genres as well. A lot of chatter I hear from Webtoon Canvas creators is that to be successful in Webtoons, creators need to do romance stories, but that's not completely true. We can do other stories. It's all about how we present the story and how we make the audience feel as they're reading our story. Are there things for them to latch onto? Are there things for them to be engaged with and enjoy immediately from the very first episode? Summer does seem to have a pretty big cast, at least 8 characters to introduce in the first season that have decent sized roles, but she decided to focus just on Mina and Shin, diving deeper into them as characters and building these characters' emotional depth. In my opinion, I think Summer had a lot of ideas as to what she wanted from the very beginning of the series, and she covered it in an enjoyable way for readers. With all of this said, I would say that Grime Reaper in Training is Pantheon Talks certified, and I would recommend this series especially to new creators to learn from. Study how she makes her story. She doesn't get too crazy with the panels or dynamic movements, although there are those in the story, but you can see she's just telling a great story, creating and building on strengths that she knows she has as a writer and an artist. So all in all, if you're a mythology buff, maybe you love Greek mythology or Egyptian mythology, this will be a nice chance for you to expand your horizons into Korean mythology and folklore. If you're a fan of pretty characters and love unique and interesting designs, as well as fun tropes like magical girls, as well themes of good versus evil, of what happens to us after we die, and how many of us face the fear of the unknown, then I would definitely say, without a doubt, 100% check out this story. And I would definitely say, go ahead and head on over there now and check out Grime Reaper in Training and let Summer know Apollo sent you. Leave Grime Reaper in Training all of the hearts, give the series a comment, and share this video and the series with your friends. Our question to the community is, who is your favorite character from Grime Reaper in Training? I already told you mine. If you have other Webtoon Canvas series, Topless Community series, Amateur Comics series that you would like for us to review, then please go ahead and leave us a comment below. I will definitely do my best to check out series that are suggested. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Yes.